Gruesome Magazine.
Hello, once again, this is Doc Rotten, and this is Gruesome Magazine. Tonight, we are going to review a film that we wanted to do last year, but it didn't happen because of COVID and all kinds of things, even though it did come out, and it also came out on streaming, VOD. It finally came out on HBOMax, and we have gathered to watch it, even though Dave had already seen it. We are doing Freaky, and I am so happy to be doing this. But I am Doc Rotten. Let me introduce the rest of the crew, starting off with the one and only Dave Dreher. How you doing, Dave?
Doc, what'd you do
just
with
said
Jeff?
Dave Dreher? Dave
I know.
Dreher, what happened?
Yeah, well, hang on. See, he didn't do that, and Jeff's missing. So there's something going on. What's going on, Doc? Fess up.
Very, very wrong.
Everything seems off.
Fess up.
It's Freaky. All right. Also joining us is Crystal Cleveland, the Living Dead Girl. How you doing?
I'm great, actually. I'm feeling like myself, so that's a good thing. I'm not Jeff.
No, unfortunately, Jeff is not with us. He is out on vacation, enjoying himself. So have a good time, Jeff. We miss you.
Yes.
Get back here soon, but have a good time and bring lots of memories back with you. Of course, I just got back, which delayed that was weird, right? All right, let's what we're gonna do, if you're not familiar with what we do, is we're going to give our first impression of the film. That will be spoiler free. Then we're going to get into the discussion about it. We will dive into spoilers. And this movie's a year old, so you've probably seen it before we did. And then we're going to give our final thoughts, our score 1 to 5, and our favorite scene. But what are we talking about? We are talking about Freaky. Streaming now on HBO Max, beginning July 13th. Directed by Christopher Landon, a director that I think we all like. He did the what's the name of the films he did, Dave?
I knew you were going to put me on.
I know.
I was trying to remember them as you were speaking. I'm like, shit, he's going to ask me, and I can't remember off the top of my head.
Totally forgot. No, it's Happy Death Day, Happy Death Day 2.
Yeah.
He also did Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse, which we liked, and
nice.
Paranormal Activity films, including the marked ones, which is one that I actually liked, but I think I was the one of the few that did. Yeah.
I believe, if memory serves me correctly, that's the one that garnered you the title of Bloomfucker, I believe.
I think we're a little more
Blumhumper.
Maybe it was Bloomhumper. Might have been Bloomhumper. You might be right.
You're a little raw on that.
One man's humper is another man's. What can you say?
He has oh my God! All right, it is written by Michael Kennedy and Christopher Landon. The cast includes the great Vince Vaughn, Kathryn Newton, Celeste O'Connor, Misha, Osherovich, Emily Alder, Nicholas Stargel, and Alan Ruck. Yay!
Good old Alan Ruck. I liked Alan Ruck in this.
Yes. After swapping bodies with a deranged silly killer, a deranged serial killer, a young girl in high school discovers she has less than 24 hours before the change becomes permanent. Yes, a silly killer. We have a silly killer here, a serial killer. Now, this is a comedy, but it's not silly. But let's get into this. Let's start off giving our first impressions. And Dave, I'm going to start off with you. There's a reason why. I'm not going to share here. But but what was your first impression of Freaky?
I enjoyed this film quite a bit. I'd seen it when it first came out and loved it then. Hadn't seen it since then, so when it popped up here on HBO Max, excited to get to watch it again. It's not a perfect movie. I think the first time I watched it, I kind of watched it through rose-colored glasses. I noticed much more this time around than I did the first time. It's got some interesting story flaws, which I'm sure we're going to discuss here. But overall, it's a ton of fun. Vince Vaughn is fantastic in this as this killer. He just seemed when you hear that he's playing the character, you're like, what? But it works. And the same with the girl. Which one of those names that you slaughtered was the girl? Kathryn Newton. She is equally as fantastic, both as the kind of mousy girl and then when she takes over the serial killer persona. She's fantastic in it. So yeah, I like this a lot. If you haven't seen it, you need to remedy that, because this is worth seeing. And the gore is fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it is. All right, Crystal, you're up next. What was your first impression of Freaky?
So, of course, I loved it. It's hilarious. It's really funny, but it does have a lot of gore. So, it'll, please you gore lovers. But Vince Vaughn actually makes the movie. Totally. She's great or fine as, the serial killer, Vince Vaughn. But Vince...
Yeah, him as the girl.
Yeah, and he doesn't overdo it, really. He didn't.
Not me.
I mean, okay, it does. Is he? Yeah, but he could have been way more over the top with it. I think. Yeah, the beaver dance. That's so funny.
Yeah, he does what every guy. I think of any guy who woke up and suddenly realized he had a woman's body. The first thing you do is feel yourself up, and that's right where he goes, man. The first thing he does is kind of ooh. I just thought it was funny because it's yep, that's a typical guy thing.
Well, yeah, I think the girl would do that too. Be curious,
Oh, they did that. They did that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the peeing. Yes. Yeah. So they do address that stuff too. I think it's her friend set is really precious. I liked both of them. I thought the movie, obviously, it was shot well. It's a high quality movie. It's produced from a studio, so of course it's got a decent budget, and it is done well. There are some moments that I definitely feel like everyone is going to love. Now I know that Christopher G. Mohr, who's also part of the Gruesome family, says this is going to be in his top 10. I didn't like it that much.
It was,
but I really, really, it was, yeah. I really, really liked it though. And I think I would absolutely watch it again. It felt a little long, though, to me. I was okay with the story, too. How they did the switch.
Well, I thought the switch was, it was, I don't know, watching it the second time, it wasn't quite as clear what the hell was going on exactly.
They were on some sort of sacrificial altar.
Yeah, but it was just kind of confusing. Yeah, they didn't really. Yeah, it was kind of confusing. Let's see what Doc thinks. He hasn't gotten
explain
into
the lore. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The lore was loosey goosey, but that's all you need. It had a special knife and everything happened. So yay! I really did love this film. It's a lot of fun. Is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. Doesn't need to be perfect. No, it actually doesn't need to be perfect. It stands on its own, flaws and all. It really, it's really impressive with the two leads, Vince Vaughn and Kathryn Newton. I think, especially Vince Vaughn. I mean, Vince Vaughn has really impressed me over the past couple of years. Wedding Crashers I liked, but then a whole gaggle of films that I was like, okay, I'm over Vince Vaughn. But then he did a couple of those grittier movies. What was the one? Cell Block, something.
Yeah, Cell Block, Hell Block, Cell Block, something.
And that, I forget what that was, but it was. I really liked him in that, and I really liked him in this. They take advantage of his height and his size.
Yes, and, God, he's massive.
He's like 6'5" or something.
He was.
Yeah. And he was vicious too. I mean, again, you think of him as a comedic actor, but when he was the serial killer, he was freaking scary.
Yes. Yes. And I thought it, and I liked the way they played, with that the bodies are strong, one's weak, and and even though there's all kinds of the Freaky Friday body switch kind of thing going on here, that was a lot of fun, and you can certainly tell when they went to the title card that it was supposed to be a Freaky Friday the 13th instead of just Freaky, but it certainly didn't have to be, and Freaky is fine. It is for those who are concerned, very much a comedy first.
Yeah.
Horror very last, but it does have the gore splattery effects in it, and
for sure.
I wonder.
I think it's perfect
if they didn't leave some stuff out, because it was never explained as to why he kills on homecoming, why he does what he does,
all that.
They didn't
when they're on the football field. They get it's not really spoilery. They show it in the trailer, but and the switch is taking place, and they're like on top of that Aztec things. Like, what the fuck was that all about? I mean, it doesn't even. You had no idea what was going on. It looked cool, but I still didn't know, and really what the mask meant. I mean, we see that there's a mask missing on the wall, and then he has a mask, so I'm assuming that's the mask on his head. But why? Why that mask? What does that have? Does it have something to do with the knife? Does he have to have that mask for the knife to work? I mean,
well, I don't know. I don't think he knew about it. He just happened to be at the place where they had the knife. That's when he took it. Yeah,
yeah. Well, I thought he came in to get. I thought he showed up to actually get the knife. He knew the knife was there, and that's what he came to get. He needed it to complete the ritual.
No, because it called out to him.
Yeah,
it called out to him. See, so that was what I took. I think both ways work, but
he went in to kill those kids, is what his goal was. He didn't care about the knife. The knife just happened to be there, and then after he killed him, he heard it because it was like, and then he took it.
That's a very nice knife impersonation. That was good.
That's how they sound. Yeah, that's how they sound. But
anyway, that was a little confusing. That whole backstory or lack thereof.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then because they could have explained it with the Spanish teacher, but they didn't. They only explained what would happen. Like
they may
had
have
to do it within 24 hours.
They may have.
No.
I know. I mean, I understood half of it.
She was more concerned, like, oh God, that was actually so funny too. Aren't you in third year Spanish? Yeah. So what?
Well, this Christopher Landon, though, definitely has a knack for doing these kind of teenage, college age films. He did it with the Happy Death Day ones. I mean, he writes or he creates those characters very, very well. You could definitely tell it was the same director. They had the same look, the same feel.
Yeah.
That kind of smart alecky, clicky type of thing. Kind of like Clueless.
Yep. And I like the rumors that, they're thinking about crossing these two over.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Happy Death Day in this?
Yeah,
that'd be interesting.
Day or Freaky Happy Death Day, or I don't know how they would do it.
Interesting.
But
happy Freaky Day.
Yeah, it would be fun to see how
that's
they would
cool.
do it.
I like keeping this stuff in the same universe. I think that's fun. It's
exciting. Well, they kind of took place in almost the same timeline, really, if you think about it. I mean,
feels like it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked when Vince Vaughn, runs.
Oh my God, me too. Yes, I actually wrote it down like that was because
when he runs after he's Millie.
Oh my God, yes. Oh my God, when he comes out with a towel on his head too. Silly.
Yeah.
I don't know why I found that funny too. It's like
he handled it so well. I mean, like when he meets that homeless person right out of the gate, and he is asking about the homeless person asking about drugs, and goes, "Do I look like a girl to you?" And he goes, "I want those drugs." Come back.
What made me laugh though is like him waking up in the lair. It's like really, like it's so ridiculously obvious that he's a serial killer. I mean, like, is he Ed Gein? Because you look around everywhere and there's just like, I just thought that was funny.
Yeah,
it was over the top.
It was over the top. Yes.
Now,
speaking of that, did you like it when Kathryn Newton's Millie character woke up with the butcher and as the butcher in Millie or whatever? That sounds weird. But
I wasn't as into her as I was Vince. She was okay. I think she did a good job for what she had. I mean,
well, she did after the transformation. She really didn't talk much. I mean, she dressed up in that red outfit, and she was just kind of basically a bitch. She didn't really talk to anybody, or she just.
Well, that was it. I mean, that was the thing because he wasn't. Killers in the movies typically don't have a lot of dialogue, but I just like the way she.
Yeah, I thought it was good too. I definitely. She was definitely the mousy. She was the mousy one, at first, with her sister being the cop and all that. She just kind of.
I did like the sandpaper line. Like,
that
was amazing.
Yeah, that was.
So I wish they had actually given her more dialogue because honestly, when she woke up and she didn't talk, I was like, when she goes after the sister, I guess I just figured, I'm like, I get it. He's a serial killer. But serial killers just don't go around killing everyone. That's just silly. It's not realistic, but that's okay because nothing about this movie is realistic.
No, that's true.
Well, that's
Okay,
true. That's
so
true.
Well,
I mean,
after a while, he started picking and choosing based on, oddly, how they had treated her.
Yeah.
yeah, which was kind of nice actually. But I found it interesting that he would. Well, do we have any spoilers here? That he would come back, essentially come back for her. I didn't understand how that. I didn't get that. How all of a sudden he was okay. At the end, like he was
That's what I was
shot.
talking about. Watching it now, there's like holes that are kind of rather
Major holes.
gaping, and you're just like, okay, what?
How did
but again,
he
it
just
don't
get
really have to make
healed?
sense. It doesn't ruin the fun of the film by any stretch. I mean, maybe we're just
No.
overanalyzing it. But
That
it was obvious.
a big one, though.
I didn't notice
That's
it the
a
first
big
time around, but the second time around, I was like, ooh. Wow.
Well, I was expecting it. It was like, of course he's not dead. You got to double tap him.
I didn't expect him to be dead. Okay.
Going back to Zombieland. Huh?
I mean, you got to do double tap. If you don't do double tap, they're not dead.
But how did he come back all healed? Do you see what? That's where my issue is. Not that he's not dead.
He's a Jason. He's not. He's a little bit more than just a serial killer because there was a little more to him.
Mm-hmm.
At least what I got. I got he was more like supernatural Jason than
that was what I came away with too, Doc. I mean, that's really the only conclusion you can come to.
Or
but it wasn't. It wasn't obvious. It wasn't stated. Let's put that way.
But I think it's expected, though. I mean, they were playing on tropes, and then Michael Myers sits up after he gets stabbed on, in the eyes with, and Jason always, it doesn't matter what happens to Jason.
But we do know that it has kind of been established that they're clearly not just a human.
Yeah, I mean, but I think the Butcher is supposed to be more like Jason and Michael Myers than he is.
Yeah, I think for sure. Yeah,
he is like
I agree with that.
American Psycho or something. So
that's fair. It doesn't matter. This is a comedy, so it's irrelevant. Like we're totally debating this, like it's serious, but it's not.
We're taking it too serious.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't take away from the movie. The movie is what it is. It's funny. It's cute. It's got some decent gore.
It really does.
There's a couple really.
Alan Ruck's gore.
Yeah, that's the best. Absolutely.
Oh my god,
best scene in the movie, and he's great at it too. I mean, kind of playing cross character what he normally plays. Mm-hmm. You don't usually play a pricky asshole like that. And he was actually quite good at with that, like that thick mustache and the.
Who is that? Is that Cameron?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my god, I hated him. He's so mean.
He was. That's what I mean. It was very, very different than a character that he ever played, but he did it well. He was very believable in it.
I was like, who do they keep talking about? Thank you for the mustache. Yes, Cameron. Cameron was in England or whatever. Let's Cameron go. That's all I think about Ferris Bueller's Day Off. He looks the same.
Doesn't he?
Like, it's really weird. Other than facial hair. Yeah. He was fabulous.
What's that HBO show he's on?
He's on the show? Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's on the show on HBO. Let me look. I'll consult my expert here.
Handy dandy.
Succession. He's one of the Roys on Succession.
That's right, he is. I forgot about that.
He's really good on that. Yeah,
it was some inspired casting in this because I thought he was quite good for the small amount that he's in, and he has the most spectacular death in my opinion.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, let's ignore the fact that that wouldn't happen that easily. It's not that easy to cut like that, and she couldn't have pushed him through as quickly. See, I can dissect this all day long if I try to put realistic terms to this movie.
I see what you did there.
Abandon all reality because that would not have happened like that. Plus, it was very clean.
Looks good. But it looks good.
Yes, it does. It looks fabulous, and I'm totally down for. I don't care if the kills are plausible.
Yeah.
Like,
I think maybe you do.
No, if it was a serious movie, I would. If it was a serious movie, I would.
Even the fight leading up to it, though, I mean, that's kind of a brutal brawl they have before the
Yeah,
the
he's
table,
such a jerk.
or the table saw thing, you know.
He's
Yeah.
like, you're going to the principal. I'm like, I call the police. She's crazy. Clearly, she just tried to kill you, dude. Duh. He just did not take that seriously.
No, no, not at all.
Well, I just want to talk about Kathryn Newton real quick, and then we're going to move on. And this is just because of my interest in all things Marvel, but she's playing Cassie Lang in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, the movie that's coming out. So she's joining the Marvel Universe as
cool.
One of the young Avengers, so they say.
Oh,
Mm.
the next generation, huh?
Yes, and of course she was in Supernatural. Most people remember.
Right. I think it's where I've seen
Pokemon Detective Pikachu, which is a surprisingly
Yes.
good movie for what it was.
Yes, it is.
And Big Little Lies. I don't know. I watched that. So but anyway, I think she is really good, and I think she's going to.
I think she's been better in other things.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
she didn't have much to work with here. I mean, I don't think she did bad at all. But if you're having to compare who made me laugh more,
Oh, Vince Vaughn.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
Vince all the
Vaughn, for
way.
sure.
Yeah.
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 sure.
Yeah. She did great. I mean,
Although I
but she
will
didn't
say
have much.
I liked Misha Osherovich. Sorry, who played Josh. I thought the way he
Oh
handled
my
that
God.
character, he was so funny.
Love him.
He was so funny.
Oh my God, love
Especially
him so
about
much.
the
He's so fabulous.
when he had her tied to the chair and the mom came home, and he goes,
Yes, he's like,
Right.
yes.
"Mom, I'm coming. I'm straight." He goes, "You are many things but straight." It was so funny. And then Celeste O'Connor as
Isn't
Nyla was
that
good too. So.
Sexual?
I don't think you do.
Doesn't have to be.
But it was I don't know. I really they seemed like real friends. It just seemed
Yeah.
like a good group.
Yeah.
So it was
And they really didn't question, even after she shows up in Vince Vaughn's body. I mean, they question it a little bit, but once they confirm that, they don't hesitate. Like right away,
I know.
they're all in, man. They just jump in and go for it. So
Yeah, and then the other friend too. Who he was kind of cool too. I liked him.
Oh, the love interest?
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
And, they made the most of it. So all right,
They did.
it is a Freaky Friday in horror tone, and that's exactly what they did. That's what they delivered, and it's hilarious. And I think we're all loved it. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's do our final thoughts, our score 1 to 5, and our favorite scene. But before we do, if you're still hanging out with us, I hope you enjoyed this review. And if you want to share that enjoyment, all you have to do is hit the subscribe button or share with a friend, and that will do wonders. Please do that. And of course, we'd love to hear your comments down below.
I should get arrows just to hold up. Like,
Yeah.
Hey, make that happen.
Airplane things. All right.
I like it.
I do too.
All right, Dave, you're up first. So, final thoughts, your score, and favorite scene.
Well, fun movie. I like this a lot. Definitely say watch it. I really think we were just getting a little too technical in our review here, because like I said, there are some holes, but at the end of the day, it don't matter. It's fun. It's well written. There's some pretty good laughs. There's some really good gore. So yeah, definitely check it out. It's kind of weird. HBO Max didn't make a big deal about having this. I actually had to kind of search around for it. To find it. I figured it'd be like a available now kind of thing, but I was like, yeah, I don't think this thing. Jeff told me it was on HBO Max. I'm like, I think he's smoking corn again. It's not on
Smoking corn.
But it's there. You have to search around for it a little bit.
It's not one of their movies that they do like get one of their movie of the week. It's a movie they just happen to have on. It's very
kind of
important.
tossed in there. Yeah. So, but hunt it up and check it out, because it is definitely worth watching. Favorite scene, easy, hands down. It's the Alan Ruck on a table saw.
Of course.
It has to be. It's kind of surprising. I'm trying to remember if that's the first time we get some like actual balls to the walls gore. I think it might be.
There's the champagne bottle down the throat.
Champagne bottle. Yeah, that's
scene.
right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yes, yeah, that's right. So, but still, this is still very graphic and very shocking, although probably not particularly realistic, but still looks great.
Does not matter. Does not matter.
I'm going to give this a 3.75.
Me too. Oh God, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And tell you to definitely hunt it up and check it out.
Excellent. All right, Kritzel, you're up next. Final thoughts.
So Dave and I think way too much alike. Because, see, 3.75, 2, which is kind of weird. I was like, I bet they're going to go higher than me. But I'm not Jeff. I don't feel the need to be the top. But I miss Jeff. Anyway, okay, this movie's obviously one to watch. It's good. 3.75 is really high for me. If I give something a 4, it's stellar. So I think it's a super fun watch. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy it. I think you're going to like the gore. It's fun. It's funny. Vince Vaughn is just amazing. Oh, God, he's so funny. So funny. And the butt shake with the beaver dance. I can't. So, just like you were talking about, I could watch that all day long. I died. I actually had to stop it because I kept laughing. So I'm going to do something different with my favorite scene. I was going to say the champagne bottle, but no. I like the scene with the tater tots. And then he's like, really? Yeah.
That's an obscure scene, but that's really good, though. You're right.
It's so funny. I was like, really? Like, and then he says, really? And I was like, yeah. See, that's, yeah. That whole scene was actually really cute, but that part in particular killed me. Yeah.
Good choice. Good choice.
All right, Verna, yeah. This movie is fun. I can't wait to watch it again. I would give it a 4. Sorry, I'm going to go all Jeff on this.
Well, you're a blue humper.
A blum
humper. Yeah.
Bloom humper or a blum humper. This is my favorite Vince Vaughn movie ever, hands down.
Wow.
I'm not a fan.
Oh, I love him. I think he's fabulous.
I like Wedding Crashers, but I don't know, his humor is it's very specific type of humor, but it really works here. And I like when he does serious. I like the Cell Block, the Attack on Cell Block 92 or whatever the hell that was. I can't remember the title, but
he was good in that, though. You're right.
Oh my God, it was fabulous in that. So, I mean, when he uses his size, and of course they use that here, the difference in size, the difference in bodies, because there's things he wants to do as, when it's Kathryn Newton running around as the Butcher Millie, there's things that the Butcher wants to do in that body but can't because it's not them. And it's just funny. It's a delightful movie. It is a comedy. I'm just going to stress that, but it is a comedy for horror fans for certain. I
can't believe this hasn't been done before. Like,
I can't either. It seems like it.
Yeah.
And I bet Christopher G. Mohr knows if it has. I hope they come back to it. And I really like Christopher Landon's work. I've enjoyed his work, especially with the past Happy Death Day films. Those have been some of my favorite as well. I'm looking forward to his next films as it continues working with Blumhouse. So more Blum humping on the way. My favorite scene, Booker, is when they're trying to explain to the boyfriend that the body swapping, and he's just. Like I think didn't he have to knock him out and he wakes up and there's there and he's just freaking out. And he had to read that silly poem to get him to realize it. And it's just followed up with this weird relationship, this weird, really strange, funny interaction between the boyfriend.
But also gross. I just realized because he's supposed to be. I didn't even think about it.
I know it is very gross. But it was
because I really just funny. Saw him as the chick in my mind.
He was doing such a great job, right? So, and he's like, "Oh, your hand is so let me do this when my hand's not bigger than your head." But it's but yeah, just do it. I thought she did a great job with the Booker, just saying Booker a whole bunch of different ways. And so to me, it was this entourage of characters. I thought that was great, and it was that was quick. To me, this movie wasn't long at all. It just went by really fast.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't really notice the length either. I thought it was. How long was
Maybe
it?
I was
Hour and a
just
half? Was
antsy.
it normal 90 minutes?
I will look that up if
Doc
they tell me.
is checking. Hold, please.
Hold, please.
I
1 hour
think I
and
was
42
just
minutes.
antsy.
Okay.
Ah.
Yeah. So actually, that is a little long, 1 hour and 42, but it didn't feel like it to me.
I didn't think so. All right, well, there you go. That's our review for Freaky. We finally got around to it. I'm so happy. It is, definitely one that I think suffered the bite of COVID. I think this would have done tremendously well had everything been, had stayed normal somehow. I hope it does well enough in some kind of market that we get more of it. I would love to see more of the Butcher and switching things.
Yeah.
And if we do get that, because they want to do a Happy Death Day
Crossover.
3, and they want to do a crossover. If we can get all that, that would be perfect. I don't know if we can imagine. Well, anyway, I'm going to shut up. This was a great review. Dave, Crystal, thank you for joining me. This was a lot of fun.
It always
Thanks
is.
for having us. It was awesome. I was happy to watch this one.
There's as many that are happy that unhappy to watch. Is that what you're trying to say? Oh God, I'm gonna watch it.
Fact.
All right. Well, with that, let's say goodnight.
Good night.
Good night.
Gruesome Magazine.